Most people think Om is a word. It's not. Some think it's a prayer. It's not that either. Others think it means peace, or God, or universe. Wrong again. So what is it? And why does almost everyone get it wrong? Today, we're exploring one of the most misunderstood symbols in human history. Om. You've seen the symbol on yoga studio walls, tattooed on wrists, printed on meditation cushions and incense packaging. In Sanskrit, it looks like this: Om, a flowing script that seems almost artistic, decorative. But Om is not decoration. And it's not really a symbol in the way most Westerners think of symbols. Om is a sound, a sacred sound, the most sacred sound in Hinduism, and one of the most important sounds in Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. But even calling it a sound doesn't capture what it actually represents. The earliest mentions of Om appear in the Vedas, the oldest sacred texts of Hinduism, written between 1500 and 1200 years before Christ. That makes Om over 3,000 years old. Older than Buddhism, older than the Bible, older than most of the world's major religions. In the Upanishads, ancient philosophical texts that explore the nature of reality, Om is described as the sound of the universe itself. Not a sound in the universe, the sound of the universe. The vibration from which everything arose. According to Hindu cosmology, before creation, there was only Brahman, pure consciousness, the absolute, formless, infinite, beyond description. And from Brahman came a vibration, a sound, Om. That sound created everything: space, time, matter, gods, humans, the cycle of birth and death. Om is the sonic representation of the creative force of existence. But here's where it gets deeper. Om is not actually one sound. It's three sounds combined. A, U, M. When you chant Om correctly, you pronounce it Om. Three distinct syllables blending into one continuous sound. Each syllable has meaning. A represents creation, the beginning, the waking state of consciousness, the physical world. In Hindu tradition, it's associated with Brahma, the creator god. U represents preservation, the middle, the dream state, the mental realm, associated with Vishnu, the preserver. M represents destruction, or more accurately, transformation, the end, deep sleep, the unconscious, associated with Shiva, the destroyer. Together, these three sounds represent the entire cycle of existence: birth, life, death, creation, preservation, dissolution. The past, present, and future. Everything that has ever existed, exists now, or will exist, is contained in those three syllables. But there's a fourth element, the most important one. After you chant there is silence. That silence is the fourth state. In Sanskrit, it's called Turiya, pure consciousness, the transcendent state beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. It represents Brahman, the absolute, the ground of all being. So when you chant Om, you're not saying a word. You're tracing the entire journey of existence, from creation to dissolution, from form to formlessness, from sound to silence. And in that silence, according to yogic philosophy, you can touch something infinite. The symbol itself reflects this structure. The lower curve represents the waking state, the middle curve, the dream state, the upper curve, deep sleep. The crescent above represents Maya, the veil of illusion that separates ordinary consciousness from the absolute. And the dot at the top? That's Turiya, the fourth state, enlightenment, pure awareness. This is why Om is chanted at the beginning and end of prayers, mantras, and meditation sessions. It's not decoration. It's not filler. It's an invocation, a reminder, a doorway. You're calling forth the sound that created the universe. You're aligning yourself with the fundamental vibration of reality. And you're pointing toward the silence beyond the sound, the consciousness beyond the mind. To billions of Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs, Om is not symbolic. It's functional. Chanting it does something, creates something, opens something. And modern science is beginning to understand why. Om didn't stay confined to Hinduism. It spread, and as it spread, it transformed. Buddhism adopted Om early in its history. The sound appears in countless Buddhist mantras and prayers. The most famous is Om Mani Padme Hum, the 6-syllable mantra of compassion in Tibetan Buddhism, translated roughly as, "The jewel is in the lotus." Buddhists don't interpret Om exactly the same way Hindus do. They see it as representing the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, or the purity of these three aspects in all beings. But the reverence is the same. The power is the same. In Jainism, Om is modified slightly. It represents the Pancha Parameshti, the 5 supreme beings, perfected souls, liberated souls, spiritual leaders, teachers, and monks. In Sikhism, the concept appears as Ik Onkar, meaning one universal creator. Not the same sound, but the same idea. One sacred syllable representing the totality of existence. Across all these traditions, the sound carries weight. It's not casual. It's not decorative. And that's where the modern Western relationship with Om becomes complicated. In the 1960s and 70s, yoga and meditation began spreading to the West. The Beatles went to India. The counterculture embraced Eastern spirituality. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi taught transcendental meditation to celebrities. Om came along for the ride. Suddenly, Westerners were sitting cross-legged in studios, chanting a sound they didn't fully understand in a language they couldn't read, from a tradition they hadn't studied. And for many, that was fine. The practice worked. The chanting calmed the mind. The meditation brought peace. But something was lost in translation. Om became a symbol of Eastern spirituality in general, a vague marker of mindfulness, wellness, exoticism. It was printed on t-shirts, leggings, coffee mugs, doormats, phone cases. The most sacred sound in Hinduism, a sound representing the creative force of the universe, ended up on products sold at Target. And this has caused tension. Hindu groups and scholars have raised concerns about cultural appropriation, about the commodification of sacred symbols, about people wearing Om on their yoga pants while stepping on it with their feet, about the symbol being used to sell products with no connection to its meaning. There's a difference, they argue, between respectful adoption and shallow appropriation. Then there's the tattoo trend. Om is one of the most popular spiritual tattoos in the world. Millions of people have it inked on their skin. But many of those tattoos are wrong. The symbol is drawn backwards, or upside down, or with incorrect curves. Because the person getting tattooed, and sometimes even the tattoo artist, doesn't actually know what the correct form is. They've seen it, they like it, they think it means something vaguely positive, but they don't know what it is. And yet, despite all of this, despite the commercialization and the misunderstanding, Om endures. Not just as a trendy symbol, but as a living practice. Because here's the thing. When you chant Om correctly, something happens. Scientists have studied this. The vibration of the sound stimulates the vagus nerve, a major nerve that runs from the brainstem to the abdomen. Vagus nerve stimulation reduces stress, lowers cortisol, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and digest mode. Chanting Om increases alpha brainwaves associated with relaxation and calm focus. The physical vibration resonates in the chest, the throat, the skull. You can feel it. This isn't mysticism. It's acoustics, physics, biology. The ancient yogis didn't have EEG machines or cortisol tests, but they knew through direct experience that this sound changed consciousness. And modern science is confirming what they discovered 3,000 years ago. This is why Om appears in meditation apps like Headspace and Calm, why yoga teachers around the world still begin and end classes with it, why millions of people from dozens of traditions continue to chant it daily. Because it works. Not as magic, as a tool, a technique for shifting the mind and body into a different state. The sound creates resonance. The resonance creates calm. The calm creates space. And in that space, something opens. Whether you call it consciousness, presence, or just a few minutes of peace in a chaotic world, the effect is real. Om is 3,000 years old. It has survived empires, migrations, colonization, modernization, and commercialization. It has been sacred, and it has been trivialized. It has been worshipped, and it has been printed on yoga mats. But beneath all of that, the sound remains. Ah, oo, Creation, preservation, transformation. And then, silence. The symbol is not the point. The merchandise is not the point. The sound is the point. The practice is the point. And the practice is simple. You breathe in, you chant, you feel the vibration, you listen to the silence. You don't need to be Hindu. You don't need to understand Sanskrit. You don't need to believe in Brahman or Vishnu or any gods at all. You just need to make the sound and pay attention to what happens. Because Om is not a word. It's not a prayer. It's not a symbol of peace or God or the universe. It's a technique, a technology, a sound designed to shift consciousness. 3 syllables, 1 silence, infinite possibility. The ancients called it the sound of creation. Maybe they were right.